All right, guys, welcome to the Rockstar Podcast. We're here with my boy Riz.
Yo, Rockstar Ankur Garg in the house as well.
And today we're going to talk about something that's not controversial at all.
That sounds like an irony waiting to happen.
No, we're going to talk about something that you are super comfortable talking about and extremely experienced. Dating in 2021.
Oh, I thought we were talking about some type of vertical challenge. Very comfortable about that. But
dating in 2021 can be a vertical uphill battle sometimes.
I think you have more experience with the new dates, right, than I do. I think I date the same person for a very long time.
I am experienced in virtual dates, in-person dates. I'm very experienced in breakups at this point.
That's new, the virtual dating thing, right? I haven't done that at all. What's that like? Have you experienced that?
It was so awkward.
Really?
So awkward.
So is it like a Zoom call?
So it was exactly like a Zoom call.
So
right?
you had like underwear on at the bottom and then just a dress shirt on top?
So I would wear a full outfit, right?
Okay.
And then because when you have to refill your wine glass,
Yeah.
she's going to see you get up.
Okay.
And I couldn't just be wearing my Finding Nemo boxers underneath, right?
I mean, you already got your Finding Nemo shirt on right now. Pal.
Listen, man, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
Oh, is that why you wear this?
If this big fish isn't right for her, there's plenty of other options. But
that's good. That's
at
symbolic.
the end of the day, I think that they were a little disarming on Zoom or on FaceTime or whatever it was for these digital dates. But
Wait, do you have a hard time? I'm just sorry. I'm just imagining this connection issues, buffering. I can't hear you. I don't see your camera. Yeah, because I have it on. I have it off.
No, I think everyone was pretty good about that, to be honest.
Does it run from the dating app itself, or you just schedule? How does that work? Obviously, I don't know anything about this.
So the apps that I was on, I never actually did it through the app.
Okay.
I always, exchanged phone numbers, and then we had like a Zoom or FaceTime or what have you. The stuff now, they built it all into the app.
Okay.
I haven't been on one of those anymore, but now we can go meet people in public.
That's cool. That's cool.
So, but I think the app's caught on real quick, right?
Okay.
So now you can actually call and video call straight from within the app without having to give your phone number.
Isn't that a little creepy? Like, how about if people just start randomly videoing people while they're swiping?
I mean, you gave the person permission when you matched.
Oh, okay. So after you match, then you can video.
Right. When you're actually able to communicate with that person,
Got you.
You have the ability to call, through the app itself.
Got it. So walk us through what is a 2021 virtual date? What is a 2021 actual date? You're vaccinated, right?
Yeah.
Is it important for you to make sure that the other individual is vaccinated as well?
Well, I mean, at one point in time in life, I would never, put my vaccination status on a dating app, right? But like now I have to say that I'm vaccinated.
Okay.
Straight up in my profile,
Okay.
right? Or I have to say I'm an anti-Trumper, otherwise they won't go on dates.
Do you what happens if you find a Trumpetto, a Trumpster?
I mean, the reality is I'm not going to write my political status because I don't side on either side, right? I hate
Gotcha.
both sides equally because, there's things I agree and things I
You're
disagree.
an equal opportunity hater. Got
Equal opportunity hater when
Yeah.
it comes to politics.
Cool.
Unless it's Shahan Rizvi. I support the people for Shahan Rizvi 100%.
I support him too because he has the word Riz in his name, so it works.
So the digital date world, at least from my understanding, is kind of a low-key, easy way to have a conversation with someone to see if there's chemistry in communicating. Now, because people got so used to video calling each other because they couldn't see each other in person, some people out there are just more comfortable doing that.
Like, I'm a FaceTimer personally. I prefer FaceTiming people, friends, girlfriends, whatever the case is. Do you feel like it's better than before where you're messaging people back? Because what I hear about the dating apps is it's constant back and forth that leads to nothing.
So I think I am substantially better in person than I am on a digital like Zoom call because, I mean, there's endorphins, there's a chemical reaction when you see the other person in person, right?
What do you do? You douse them? You have a special little, what are those
Of course,
things
there's a
called?
special little like cologne or whatever, right?
Your pheromones
My
comes
pheromones,
up? Yeah.
right? But I mean, it's a real thing.
Is it like Hitch? Like they're walking in and into the restaurant, there's a sign that says, "Love Ankur Garg." The menu says AKG. Like, do you set it up like that?
I think you're confusing Will Smith movies, but yes, it is exactly like that.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I think it was the number 55, right?
Yeah.
They had 55 all over the place.
So there's Hitch, and then what's the other thing? Like something Persuasion or something?
It was with Margot Robbie, right? The one of them doing con artist stuff. I
Yes.
can't remember the name of it. Hustle.
Is that what it's
Something
called?
like that? Something like that.
Okay.
But The point is,
Jack, can you find out for us?
I definitely have some subliminal messaging that happens in how I communicate, right? But I'm also
like your shirt that you're wearing. There's plenty of fish in the sea. I don't need you.
I'm also an expert in like sales techniques,
Mind control.
micro face expressions,
Ankur
changing
Garg
body language.
is an expert in mind control. He's telling you.
Yo, listen, man. There's only one person that ever like truly blew me away, right? And I was literally in a meeting, and he Jedi mind tricked me to like switch the way that I was sitting, and I realized it as it was happening. He looks directly at me and winks, because he realizes that I just realized that he knows what he's doing. And he just put me in my place in like a way it's never happened before.
Some Illuminati shit you're talking about.
Man, and this is the guy that they made Fresh Prince of Bel-Air about.
Oh, that's
that
crazy.
I was meeting with.
Okay.
And I mean, the actual guy that moved to Bel-Air.
Well, I thought it was always about Will Smith's life.
No.
Oh, okay.
It was actually about this guy who was the manager for like J-Lo, Diddy, all these guys back in the day.
Cool.
And his life is just kind of crazy. But that guy Jedi mind tricked me so quick.
I wonder what his dates are like.
I'm sure he's happily, in some situation that we know nothing about.
So dating in 2021, do you feel like people are happily in their situations or lituation, or what does Jada Pinkett and Will Smith call it, an entanglement?
I don't know what they call their relationship, but they're rock solid, man. To get through whatever they've been through, to still be together.
Hey, yeah, that's crazy. I don't know if I can handle that personally. Can you?
I mean, can I cry on camera in a podcast? Maybe. Depends on what questions
We're about to
you
find
ask
out. We're going to try to get Ankur Garg to cry in 2021 in one of our podcasts.
I mean, I'm pretty in tune with my emotions now.
Oh, that's very good.
Okay, so let's talk about an understanding of messaging and setting up dates.
When you say messaging, do you mean actual messages or like a actual communication with them? What do you mean by messaging?
So, I mean, okay, let's say...
I'm a newbie when it comes to the online dating world, so you got to really treat me like a kid.
So let's say that you're setting up a date, or you're setting up an introduction to someone that you match with. And you have a couple messages, in my opinion, to take it off of the app and to arrange for an in-person meeting.
Yeah.
Whether that's going to be a date, whether it's going to be like exchange a phone number to do a call. But for me, and for anyone that I've ever given any guidance to on the subject, I tell them to get off the app.
Are you an expert? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't really have a YouTube channel for that yet, Jack. But maybe we could launch some dating advice from Ankur.
Am I going to see advertisements soon? Swipe up for Ankur Garg coaching, dating coaching advice.
To be honest, I probably could charge to make people's profiles.
Hashtag Ankur Garg, the love guru.
And I just have to program the number 55 into everyone's profile so that everyone knows. The movie was Focus.
Okay,
That's right.
Focus. Which is, I mean, focusing I think is a big issue for a lot of people in 2021. So I know a lot of people complain about focusing at work. These Zoom calls are overstimulated, too much video, this and that. So how do you even focus on dating and love life? Everyone's all about this individual thing. I'm working on myself, improving myself, which is good, but there's a lot of self in there, right? So to share yourself with someone else, you have to give up a little, and then to be able to focus in a conversation long enough, how do you engage someone to do that? It's tough.
I think that a lot of people in the current day and age that are working on themselves have come to the discovery that, they receive love one way and they send love a different way.
Are you saying love language, or what are you trying to say?
This is more about how you receive and how you give, not love languages.
Okay.
It could be overlapped in some ways, but this is more about whether someone values someone being on time.
It's very important what you just said. How you give love back. Everyone's so used to just expecting love. I actually don't know when someone actually sat down and was like, how do I communicate or give love back? Do people do that?
Yeah, I think we all try and shower people in what we expect, because we will project onto that person like, hey, you should love me back because I'm giving you what I want, because that's what I think is important.
So then that's an expectation. Don't you think that's a character flaw of someone? You are doing things for someone else because you have an expectation of something in return subliminally. Because if they don't communicate
you're allowed
back,
to have expectations as a human. Is it going to be positive towards your mental health if that other person lets you down? That's a whole different conversation.
Expectations lead to disappointments, no?
Not always.
Are you a good human being if you have expectations? If I paid for dinner today, do I have expectation for you to pay tomorrow or for you to sleep with me or something? Isn't that outrageous, you think?
I think it's a scale, right? Expectation can be looked at the same as trust, or can be looked at as the same as intention, right? People have intentions to be good to the next person, right? So then you take that a little further down that road, right? And you're like just slightly good, but slightly selfish, right? And then you could go all the way down where it's 100% selfish, almost manipulative when you get down to that end. But I think expectations have to be communicated in order for people to feel respected.
So how do you communicate that on first date, second date, third date?
So, if I am scheduling a date with someone, I think it's really important that they confirm the time, right? Because I'm the guy that will use the app to make the reservation, right? Resi, Talk, Yelp, Open Table, so on and so forth.
Very interesting. Ankur Garg is actually a Yelp elite.
This is true.
So it makes a big difference. So I think a date with Ankur Garg is definitely more special than anything else.
I mean, any time with Ankur Garg is always going to be special, right, Riz? Except none of these girls have bought me flowers yet, man. We need to get back to that. Jackie, it's been a little bit since I've asked for flowers, and nothing has come my way.
That is an expectation, Ankur. Like I said, you should not.
No, that's not an expectation. That was an ask.
Oh, it was a demand.
It was an ask.
That's a request.
I am also part of the best friend squad that took her for her birthday.
Again, expectation.
I bought her the coffee.
Oh, because you bought her coffee, you expect some flowers in return.
So I think at the point of scheduling the date, right, and me being the one who's most likely going to make the reservation, I will send them a link to RSVP, right? And now with technology, that'll immediately put it on the calendar as soon as they accept. And then the day of, I will hit them up again, like, hey, just confirming that we're still meeting up. I don't know if you remember this, but there was this time when I moved to Pittsburgh where I went on 23 first date scenarios where the girl stood me up.
I didn't know those numbers. Those are astronomical numbers.
23.
In 1 month?
It took 3 or 4 months.
Okay.
But I found out that culturally in that area, women were on these apps without the intention of meeting.
It's a numbers game, right? People just swiping.
I don't have that problem here.
Okay.
Right, with people having the intention of actually meeting someone.
I think ratio depends a lot, right? Over here in the New York City area, in the urban area, the ratio of females to men is crazy. It's like 3 females to 1 guy.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I've only ever heard that in North Carolina when you used to throw parties down there.
That's a ratio of the girls that used to show up to
They
our
used to buy
parties.
you drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I have no expectation of anyone in life, right? So if you do something, I really do generally appreciate it, right? So when I do something, it's not my social currency. I'm not spending this amount to buy a certain expectation from you.
But expectations and social currency don't necessarily have to overlap.
Good. That's a great thing.
Right.
It's something that I stress on people all the time. Unless you're working for me, I have 0 expectations from you. Like family, right? Some people have an expectation of family, and what do everyone say? Family lets me down. Family does not let you down. Family is just another individual that you were born into. Did you take the time to nurture your family relationship? Do you call them and say what's up, just like you do with your friends? Not just mom and dad or brothers and sisters, but throughout, cousins, uncles, aunts. Do we do these things? I don't feel like we give as much attention and time to our family as we give to a significant other or a potential date.
I think you and I do.
Yeah, I'm just talking about broadly. But then, again, do we have expectations?
I mean, I think I have an expectation of my father to like and comment on every single post that you put up on Facebook.
Yes.
But he's trained me to see that now, right?
Okay.
And I think that certain expectations based on consistency of behavior, I think that's acceptable, right? But holding the people in that box is not acceptable, right? If someone wants to break that expectation and communicates it, then that's something that's okay.
Good. So we agree that culturally a lot of us have changed over time, right? Expectations should change.
For sure.
Of family, friends, and lovers. So what is your expectation dating someone in 2021?
Okay, so for me, I want someone who is open to communicating, right? And is open to being someone who is more than just being a homebody.
Okay.
Right. So I can't possibly connect with someone who's not willing to go out. Right.
Okay.
Go out to eat, go out to a new venue, go watch a show. I'm not saying that needs to happen 7 days a week by any means, right?
Right.
But there's definitely a pool of the dating population that doesn't want to do that. And that's okay, right? It's just not right for me. And I think the expectation is that if we're at these scenarios where you're outgoing and you're going out to these different places and enjoying yourself, that there's going to be some great conversation. And I think I'm pretty good at conversation and bringing up different topics that are not normal to these people to hear or talk about. And I've had some phenomenal conversations with first dates. And these are people that nothing happened after that first date, but it was a great conversation where it was an eye-opener for me. I remember in Pittsburgh, I took this one girl out. She was half Japanese and half Cuban.
Okay, that's unique.
Cubanese. I was all about this, right? Because you know how much I love Japanese culture.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then
Cuban food is amazing.
Spanish culture. I'm, Oh, this is perfect. This is everything I've ever wanted. And she looked Indian. So it was crazy. But I remember...
And you found her in Pittsburgh, you said?
Yeah, in Pittsburgh. Crazy. So I remember we were talking about tattoos, because I have a couple. And I was just showing her some stuff on my phone, some stuff that I want to get. And there's a symbol in Japanese culture called a furushin. And it's essentially talking about resolve, right? Once a warrior makes up his resolve, he's going to do it no matter what. And that's obviously something that resonates really well with me.
Yeah, because you're pretty much a samurai on the inside.
100%. Not on the outside, apparently, but on the inside, I'm there. It's just like Tom Cruise. So I was showing this thing that I wanted to get on like a part of my ankle or something. And she was just like, why would you appropriate my culture?
Ooh.
And I was like, what? And then she explained to me how like she gets very confused when like Caucasian people or people that are not of Japanese backgrounds will do something with that language when they have their own culture that they could be putting on themselves in the form of a tattoo or something like that. And this great conversation led me into taking a deep dive back into Hinduism and looking for symbols and things that were in Hinduism that I could consider for future tattoos.
See, I have a different perspective. I feel I am a citizen of the world, and I want to learn new cultures, eat new food, new experiences, and look into the eyes of someone from a different viewpoint. Always, it doesn't have to be a different culture. It could just be a different viewpoint. Whether you're younger than me, older than me, different country, different religion. I consider myself almost omni-religious. That I believe in everyone's religion out there. I love everyone's culture, and I think every human being, we are all connected.
You believe in Scientology?
I believe in Scientology too. I believe
So the aliens are real.
The aliens are real. It only makes sense. I'm an alien to my dog sometimes, right? He probably looks at me like, why doesn't he have more fur on him? What's wrong with him?
You're pretty furry to begin with. I've seen it firsthand.
So, I want to learn everything. So I wouldn't find what you said disrespectful, but this is why we're best friends, right? Everything you do and say, I believe in. This is why we should date.
If only it were that easy. Taxes would be so much simpler. Okay, so I think the hardest part about dating in 2021 right now is I think women have a different understanding of developing trust now than they did in the past.
Why is that? Did men do something wrong?
I think...
Like, I've gone through a divorce, right? But me and my ex-wife, we're very close. We're good friends. I wish her all the happiness in the world with whomever she dates. Can't wait till she gets married and has kids. Are you
going to go?
Of course. If she invites me, I think she will. I hope so. Actually, one of my other exes, Bullock, she just invited me to her wedding, and I can't wait. It's going to be the time of our lives.
Dear Bullock, I am going to be Riz's +1 for this wedding.
Absolutely not. But, like, when you date someone, right, whether it's an ex or a future or whatever, and you give a part of yourself to them, right, you're giving up something that is vulnerable, right? And when they reciprocate that person has my love forever. So even if you're an ex, you're not my ex because we ended on bad terms. You're my ex because we have both evolved in different ways and we diverged our paths. But I love that person. That person loved me. So I will always love that person, no matter what, even if we're not together. I will always love that person. So that's why I cherish all the relationships, and we are still all close, right? So I'm a person that lives in the past, present, and future. You hear that a lot about me. And when I date someone, I actually have a more difficult time doing the online dating thing because I don't look for a wife, right? I look for a best friend because I want that person that I fell in love with to be exactly the person who she is today, tomorrow, and 20, 30 years down the road. A lot of problems that men have, I believe, is they fall in love with this eye candy right? And then they try to change that person. Oh, I don't want you to be like this. Well, then why'd you fall for that person, you know? As they say, oh, I like this bad girl, whatever the case. But when you bring them home, you want them to be wifey material, quote unquote, someone they could take to their parents. Let me tell you, my wifey material is my bad girl. Because if she doesn't continue being like how she is when I first met her, I'm going to start looking at other girls, right? This is human nature. So I don't want to change anyone. I don't know how to get that or relay that in a dating profile. People are like, what the hell's wrong with this guy? Looking for a bad bitch. What's wrong with him?
I think at the end of the day, it's the same on the other side, right? Those women are falling in love with the eye candy that is your photo, that is the eye candy of your one clever line or pickup scenario that you put on the app, and they themselves struggle with that decision of, do I like what this guy appears to be, or do I like who this guy actually is?
I agree. That's why I think it's so difficult.
Right.
You're putting your best foot forward on a first date, which is, once again, I've had only 3 dates in my life with someone new. I prefer to fall in love with my best friend and date my best friend, always.
I feel like...
Okay, I'm hinting at you, Ankur.
I feel like the dates that I go on, I am the exact same person that I am with them or that I am with you. That if you and I go out to dinner, it's going to be the same behavior. I know you might find that hard to believe, right? Because sometimes
I don't believe it at all.
We'll order, an excess of stuff, right? But I think I'm the same person. I think the only person that I dine with differently is Liran, right? But that's just because we're obnoxious and we order one of everything on the menu.
Right.
But every single other scenario...
See, I'll order one of everything too, but just dessert. That's it.
But I'll order the same number of drinks with them that I would have with you, right? I'll set up a scenario where it's dinner followed by an activity, or pre-activity before dinner.
So you're saying you have no expectations of the female, right? So you are going to be exactly the person you are today with this girl on date 1, and you expect her to be exactly the same on date 20.
No, because you're contradicting yourself, right? I'm expecting them to stay the same. I'm not expecting them to stay the same.
So
I'm not expecting them to change. I'm learning who they are presenting themselves to be.
Okay.
Right? And I'm learning how they receive love and how they give love. And then I have to then choose, is this person a good fit for me?
Yeah.
Is this my person? Could this person be my person? I think one thing that's very different for me than most other people, or at least my experience of who I'm dating, is that I look at a romantic interest as a line for me, and once I pass that line, I'm romantically interested, right? And for me, that line is very short, right? You make some jokes about my Ted Mosby status and whatever else, right? Or a love bomb after one date or something like that. But I then have a depth of romantic interest depending on how far I get down. But that's kind of also aligned with trust. I feel like most of the women that I've ever dated have used that romantic interest as like a pyramid that they have to build. They need to establish the foundation, then there's layers to it, and then they're romantically interested. And then obviously once that pyramid is built, it's very hard to break, right? Gotcha. Until we do something stupid, which is almost inevitable.
Do you feel like it's some type of relay race, some type of like hurdles that you have to reach checkpoint 1, then checkpoint 2 with females?
I used to.
Okay.
For sure, and it got me in a lot of trouble.
Okay.
I think now it's an understanding that pyramid takes time and everyone builds at a different pace.
I feel like I have to be an American gladiator these days to date someone new, I got to go through the ball pit, the people shooting lasers at me, the exes. I got to carry all the baggage, check it in, take it to my hotel room, throw it out, bring it back up.
Man, what I can tell you is that the challenges that are presented once you're in tune with what you want as a man, right, or you want as a person, are going to be very different than when you don't know what you want.
Agreed.
Right?
It's very important to know what you want.
When I didn't know what I wanted, I was just so like blasé about like going on these dates and understanding stuff. And I was like, yeah, I just want a good girl or whatever, right? Now that I know exactly who I am and I know exactly what I want in a partner, it's so much harder, right? Because then every time you communicate something that is against who that other person is, they're going to view you differently too. And it changes their behavior.
2 questions. Do you believe you live in the moment? And if so, knowing who you are, how do you live in the moment?
Oh, that's good. Okay, so I live in the moment when I let my guard down. And unfortunately, experiences in dating have forced me to put my guard up.
So then does that make you who you really are?
No, so what ends up happening more often than not is I go on 1 or 2 dates and I'm like immediately at my romantic interest point, right?
Because he's Ted Mosby and he falls in love with every girl he meets.
And so now when I'm at this point of being interested and the female then is like, well, this is a little overwhelming right now. And then she pulls back. I then react to put my guard up, right? Because, oh, wow, I need to protect myself.
Isn't that what women call playing games?
I think that's different than this. This is more like I'll pull my guard up in a reserved way because I'm trying to protect myself from getting hurt.
So then isn't that what men call putting up a wall?
Yes.
Okay.
The guard wall.
So you're a woman. You put up a wall.
I have a reason for why it goes up.
Because you're hurt, Ted Mosby?
And I'm trying to be better about that guard going up. And I'm trying to be better about communicating why I am going through whatever transition I'm going through. But I think that I am in a good enough place now where that wall isn't happening until further down the road.
See, for me, the walls don't matter because like I told you, I'm an American gladiator. I am an American ninja warrior, a Bengali ninja warrior. I am so good at climbing these walls, dodging all the arrows and everything. Doesn't matter to me. I live in the moment, man. I really do.
Okay, so what is the perfect first date for you in 2021?
Just laughing. Just laughing and eating.
It's a comedy show.
No, I want to laugh with the person.
Candlelit dinner.
That's too romantic for me. Well, we'll do candlelit dinner later, and I might feel awkward, honestly, with the candlelit dinner. I'll rather laugh with the sandwich and, food falling down both of our, sides. Not on the shirt, because that's dirty.
That's really... You're going to need bibs.
Yeah. Yo, bibs, like crawfish stuff, yeah.
Okay, so your perfect first date is a seafood boil.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah,
where you're getting dirty.
Or seafood tower.
And you are just joking around, talking about stories, and you get to know what makes this person laugh and vice versa.
Correct.
Okay.
I do like to get dressed up, though.
I think my perfect first date in 2021 is a scenario where I get to do an activity where I just haven't been able to do it.
Okay.
So, for the past 2 years. So, I haven't been able to go to a Giants game in 5 years because I've left, right? I just came back and then COVID, right? So I planned a date in October where I'm going to go to the Giants game, and I'm super excited about that. Unfortunately, that's not a first date because Giants tickets are very expensive. But that's an example of a date that I find really enjoyable.
So in conclusion, to be the perfect woman for Ankur Garg, you need to plan a Giants date, and in the middle of the stadium, you have to clear everything and have a romantic candlelit dinner. And the next morning, flowers need to be sent to his home.
Can't the flowers come before?
Oh, shoot. Highly demanding,
okay,
man.
And you left out the custom jerseys.
Oh, my God.
There's got to be custom jerseys.
Custom jerseys it is.
All right, so
in conclusion, we all know dating is hard. Relationships is hard. But no matter what, as mankind, we look for intimate relationships. We look for a partner. So no matter what, I'm always going to search for my perfect person. But I don't want to lose my individuality, and nor do I want to change anyone to be that person. Whether it's online or at a party, we'll figure it out. I'm waiting for COVID to be over so I can go back into a social environment and find my person, because that's the type of person I am. What about you?
I found my person. He's sitting across from me.
Listen, if you found your person or need help finding your person, or if we're your person, give us a DM, give us a call, check out our YouTube, search Ankur K Garg on YouTube, and you'll find us. Find us on Instagram. We'll leave our handles below. And give us a follow, and send us some topics or questions that you may have, and feedback is always appreciated.